John Ruskin, born in London on February 8, 1819, was a Victorian polymath whose intellectual legacy spans art criticism, architectural theory, and cultural philosophy. The son of a merchant, his upbringing blended evangelical piety with a deep appreciation for romantic literature and the natural world. Educated at Oxford, where he excelled in classical studies and poetry, Ruskin developed a distinctive analytical voice that sought to reconcile aesthetic beauty with moral and cultural imperatives, though his perspectives often defied easy categorization. Ruskin's early work, Modern Painters, 1843 to 1860, revolutionized art criticism by championing J.M.W. Turner's atmospheric landscapes and asserting that great art emerges from meticulous observation of nature. The treatise framed artistic skill as an intellectual discipline requiring both technical precision and philosophical depth, rejecting rigid academic conventions in favor of perceptual honesty. His subsequent The Seven Lamps of Architecture, 1849, identified foundational principles, such as truth in material expression and memory in cultural continuity, that positioned architecture as a barometer of societal values. In The Stones of Venice, 1851 to 1853, he contrasted Gothic craftsmanship's vitality with Renaissance formalism, framing medieval artisanship as a manifestation of creative freedom within tradition. While Ruskin engaged with economic themes in Unto This Last, 1860, his critique of industrial capitalism emphasized the moral responsibilities of individuals and institutions rather than systemic restructuring. He argued for economic practices rooted in mutual obligation and stewardship, viewing commerce as an extension of ethical philosophy rather than a mechanism for social engineering. His later Fors Clavigera letters, 1871 to 1884, blended personal reflection with cultural criticism, advocating for educational reform and rural preservation through initiatives like the Guild of St. George, which promoted agricultural sustainability and craftsmanship as antidotes to urban alienation. Ruskin's influence on Victorian society stemmed from his ability to synthesize disparate fields, e.g., art, science, theology, into cohesive cultural narratives. As Slade Professor at Oxford, he pioneered pedagogical methods that emphasized direct engagement with art and nature, fostering observational rigor over theoretical abstraction. His advocacy for Gothic Revival architecture shaped public buildings across Britain, while his writings on Turner and the Pre-Raphaelites redefined artistic standards. Though his later years were marked by mental health struggles, his lectures and correspondence continued to inspire intellectual circles, including figures like Marcel Proust and Leo Tolstoy, who admired his interdisciplinary approach. Over the years, people have looked at Ruskin's ideas in different ways. Some focus on his thoughts about art, while others are more interested in his views on protecting nature. Ruskin believed that art, nature, and doing the right thing were all connected. This idea is still important today, especially when people talk about preserving old buildings or criticizing too much reliance on machines. These days, people often pay more attention to how Ruskin described problems in society rather than his specific solutions. Ruskin saw creativity as something that involves both skill and spirit. Because of this, his work is still important for people who think about how old and new ideas can work together and how beauty can have a lasting impact on us.